Hello, boys, girls, and owls, and welcome to VEDA number 3 for 2019 on the Keith She's Woe channel. So sorry about the lighting artifact. It's going to be probably happening a couple times this video. It's just for some reason how the light wants to behave today. Sorry about that. But anyway, let's get to the video. Now, I've been having a bit of trouble working out exactly what to do for VEDA. This year, I really just need to get a list down, but a lot of the ideas I've had so far require a bit more setup. Things, I wouldn't say hectic here, but I've been trying to get some stuff done and thinking up things for VEDA. It's been a bit difficult, but then again, that is the challenge, isn't it? So this is just going to be a basic vlog, and pardon me. Unfortunately, I can't edit that out because I'm uploading it straight from my phone to YouTube. But yeah, a bit sick. But anyway, sorry. Let's get to the video. So today I thought, oh goddamn, I waffled on for an entire minute there. Bloody hell. Yeah. So gonna start speaking. Bloody, this is the worst intro I've ever attempted a video. I really should start again. But I won't. I shall soldier on. Today's video, I was thinking about doing a video how I budget for my video game collection, because if you haven't seen any of my collection videos, haven't seen the backgrounds to any of my videos, you should see now that I have quite a large collection just over there, even directly behind me. It cost me a fair pretty penny for those Game Boy Advance games of Yu-Gi-Oh! Lining the top of my wardrobe there. And I don't know why it's friggin'. I don't know. I'm growing a beard back for the first time in a while. Oh, sorry, I'm just out of it, guys. But yeah, as I said, that huge collection there, I would say, averages maybe $3 a game. Because a lot of those games were paid for in their entirety. Entire week's worth of lots were paid for by the sale of a single game out of a lot of maybe 10 that I bought. A lot of those ones were paid for several-fold by a game that I bought. And other ones were bought way below market value. Most of them were. And I think that because of all these things together, that my collection has maybe cost me under $1,000. Or perhaps even in profit. I haven't been keeping a strict accounts of this since the very beginning. But I've made a lot of sales, which makes me pretty sure that it's worth a heck of a lot more than what I paid for it, at the very least. So how does my budgeting work when I go through a game? Well, if I'm just talking about general video games, so the most common stuff I buy is obviously PS2 and a little bit of Xbox and PS1. Actually, at one point, believe it or not, I scarcely believe that looking at the size of my PS2 collection. At one point, my PS1 collection was outstripping my PS2 and Xbox collection. It's been quite a while since that happened. But, yeah, my PS2 and Xbox collection, we'll call that, what's that, Gen 6? 6? Yeah, we'll call that the Gen 6 collection. It's been growing exponentially over the past year. This time last year, it was almost certainly in profit. Now, I've been spending a lot more money because a lot more money has been available to me. I've been selling games about the same amount. And the games have just kept coming. I've kept finding them. And here's my general rule. If a game looks mildly interesting, and I don't have it, so just mildly interesting, let's find an example here of something I bought. Mildly interesting. Probably, no, not Jaeger. I'm having difficulty finding one. Spy Hunter. There's a good example. Spy Hunter on the PS2. If I find a game that's mildly interesting like that, I don't have it. Doesn't necessarily sell for too high, but cost doesn't come into it, and it is $2 or less. That's what I call, and I actually call this in my head, my fuck it point. That's the point where I just go, fuck it, let's try it. Because at the end of the day, even if it sucks and it can't be sold for anything, I'm only losing $2. $2, the way I see it, it's I'll piss away I'll put away $3.50 on a bottle of Coke in a day, especially when I was at uni. I'd be buying that all the time. It's like, what's a $2 game gonna change about my financial statement? So I'll buy anything at $2. That's maybe risen to maybe about the $3 point, but even then, like, I'm still a little bit iffy at $3 on some of the more boring looking games. But $2, anything, any system. Now, I'll buy a V-Smile game if it looked half interesting for $2. And then we have the first level rule, and that is $5. Generally, I will not pay more than $5 for any game worth up to about 15, maybe 20. I might spend $5 on a $20 game, depending on what it is. But any game up to about $15, generally I don't spend $5. Now, recently, as you guys have seen with the video game, pickup series, I have spent $5 on games worth less than that. The big example I give myself is Final Fantasy 15 and 12, which I did not realize was as common as it was, and I was actually in a time crunch. If I'd actually looked up the price of that game, I wouldn't have bought it. But what else is there? No, there's nothing I bought this week for $5. Oh no, there was something I bought this week for $5, but you'll have to wait and see that on Monday? Maybe Monday. We'll get to that at the end. But yeah, at $5, that's where I generally buy those games. And I've been breaking this rule a lot recently because I have more money available to me now, but I'm trying to stick to it. I don't spend more than $5 unless the game is worth something significant. Like, even if the game is worth $30 and it sells consistently on eBay for $30, I would still and ah about spending that much. Like spending $10 on it. Because the reason why, and the ultimate rule is, I will not buy any game that I can't sell for a profit. The idea being that eventually I'll get around to trying all these games, and if I don't like it or it's mediocre, I'll just sell it on and nothing will be lost. Hopefully gained. That hasn't worked so well because a lot of these games, which potentially are mediocre, I haven't got around to playing. Like, you saw all those games, I've barely played any of them. PS game, you see a cartridge game collector, and, odds are they've played most of those games because, they're cartridge games. You fiddle around with them for half an hour and get a really deep experience. Disc games, not so much. There's a lot more loading, there's a lot more, the games are bigger, and stuff like that. But yeah, and the idea behind those rules is, like, there is almost no game that, like, I've seen at a high price, wanted to buy, left, that I haven't found again. If you are willing to wait, patience is the name of the day. If you're willing to wait, good things will come to you. Good things come to those who wait, definitely. I have a game collection there, it's of just the Gen 6 stuff, it's 500 games. And that's because I was patient. If I was paying eBay prices or retail prices for this stuff, I would be broke as hell. Most of these games would be $10 to $30 games at retail, and I'd be broke as hell, but patience. And if you are patient, if you live anywhere near a suburb that has more than one op shop or a cash converter or something like that, and you are willing to wait, you can build a decent collection in under a decade. And it's a hobby, isn't it? It's an ongoing hobby, and I have plenty of hobbies that I've been disregarding in video games. That's a video in itself. Things that have fallen by the wayside as the video game collection has grown, which will probably be a bit of a sad video. Yeah, and then there are times where I have paid more than $5 for games, significantly more. I'm not sure what the highest... obviously, as a kid, I paid a bit more for games because, I had less games and, I bought a lot less frequently, so I could afford to spend a little bit more on some games. But, I'm just looking here, trying to find some examples of recent stuff I paid. Some of it I bought on CEX. It's a bit harder to find, but yeah. So this is starting to break out into a tangent. I think I've said the basics of what I do with budgeting for games. The last thing I'll say is I'm very much a disc game collector. I collect portables and handhelds as well, but I'm a disc-based collector. I collect PS1, PS2, Xbox, as much GameCube as I can. But GameCube prices, they're just high. It's an anomaly. Wii, PS3. That's what I collect. My N64 collection is under 10 games. It's always been under 10 games. And I'm thinking of culling that down even further just because I don't particularly care about the N64. But my Super Nintendo collection, that is 2 games and a Netherlands frickin' what's it called? Super Game Boy. And that's my entire SNES collection. The SNES I got for $10, so that doesn't matter too much. The thing is, at least in Australia, I know I've seen the Game Chasers and they find some crazy stuff. At least in Australia, at least in the Sydney area of New South Wales, cartridge collecting is just about impossible at a budget. You don't find Super Nintendo games in the wild, at least in my experience. You just don't, at decent prices. The only ones I've ever found in the wild at flea markets have been $10 plus, and some faded to hell. You don't find N64 games. Extremely rare. Sega stuff I have found actually on multiple occasions. So I'm willing to say it's more common. It's not very common, and that might be a video in itself. Missed opportunities with the Mega Drive, but so you do find a bit of Sega stuff. So I've got a tiny Sega collection. Again, it's under 10 games. But it's a lot more common. NES. I've seen an NES once in the wild. Console once, and I have seen 0 games for it in the wild. It's really difficult to be a cartridge collector on a budget. So if that's the era of gaming you're into, patience ain't really gonna cut it. That's the one exception to the rule. If that's something you want to collect, you need to do retail, trade-in credit. You need to buy on eBay, or probably, especially if you're in Australia, the best solution if you want to be a cartridge collector is to not collect cartridges and just get a flash card and game that way. I've considered it many times. The problem is I can't justify the price because I've had so many PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 games, Xbox games that I haven't even touched. I'll just name a bunch of title games that I haven't even touched that I've got here that I got for less than $5. Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen 2, A Legacy of Kain, Deception, Kung Fu Panda 2, 1, SSX Tricky, The Mafia, Yakuza, Siberia, the Sega Classics Collection, Alias, Project Zero. All those games I got. Really, Project Zero is actually one I broke the rule for. I paid, I think. No, I got that for trading credit. Never mind. But yeah, that's why I don't justify the buying more stuff in cartridge. But anyway, I think I've waffled on for way long enough here. What are we at? 13, 48, 49, 50, 51, yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a good place to end it. But I am interested to know what your guys' collecting looks like. I've talked to some people about it, but, and in fact, as my viewers, are you even game collectors? Why do you watch me? If you do collect games, please tell me about your mental way of budgeting. Do you limit the size of your collection? Do you keep it to a certain number of games and you trade in as you buy? Do you only buy cheap games? Do you just buy what you want? Do you just save up for what you want and buy it on eBay? Please let me know, and let me know some of your cool gaming finds, or maybe actually save that for a video where I talk about cool gaming finds, probably, because that will be coming. Because I do really love bragging about the fact that I own Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast and Tengai. But yeah, I really do love bragging about the fact that I own that, and so I'll work that into as many videos as I can. But yeah, we've gone on long enough. 15 minutes. See you guys next week. Tomorrow.